Hey everybody, welcome in. And there are some new gear chests in the game at the moment. So they've done a May Surprise bundle, which is this one here, which is relatively cheap for what you're getting, especially seeing as the rune situation at the moment in this game is it's a big stretch. And as for this bundle, for the equivalent value, if even just gem wise, if you were to jump down here into the gems, um, so a standard, like if you haven't got the double up, the extra bonus, a standard $9 of gems would be about, say, 600. So for this you're gonna get the gems, the gear, the runes, and extra pull on a handy chest, which is nice. Especially for these things, man. I need so many of those. Uh, I would like that, but yeah, no, uh, I won't be getting those. Anyway, carrying on. What we are really here for? Well, actually, since we're here, we might as well just pop open a couple of throw zones. 5. All right. I love that they've added gear into the Frozone chest and another 5. That is not so great of a pulls, but that is okay because we're not here for that. We are here for down here. These little packs have been added in T4 and T5 gear packs. Now, I've been asked, are these good value? Or I want to show you what kind of value they are. So for all of these packs, they have a standard amount, so you're guaranteed to get 5. You see where this is going. And then go to the iron, so 100% chance you're going to get each of those, and then you're going to have 1 extra of the rest of these. So you do have quite high chances. You got about what, 45%, 46% chance to get the next 15 of one of these other ones. But then it quickly starts dropping after that. The percentages goes down to 30% chance to get 10, then drops down to 15% chance to get 12, and then down to 8, and then down to 5. I like that the low amounts are actually super low chances. So if you did pull like a 5 or an 8, you're actually getting very unlucky. So most of the time you should be getting around about 15 to 15, 10 or 12. So that being said, you're pretty much looking at about 30 extracts for the price of 200 gems. Now, how am I going to consider this value? Now, the way I do it is by going to the exchange. Exchange is where I get the extracts, where I find that there is the best value. So if you go into, now this is going to vary for some people, because if you're still working on characters like Jack Sparrow and a few of the others, you may not be buying gear here. But I will say the extracts in the club exchange are the best value. Getting 5 for just over 1,000 is amazing. And then if you're in a club that is working hard, an active club that's working hard, you'll be getting like 10,000 plus club tokens per day. You'll be able to get 20 of those easily, just like that. And now I don't think that is worth 200 gems for me. But even the other way we can gauge if it is worth it is by going through the story modes and saying, okay, uh, do we want to get some of these extracts like this? And if you were going through the story mode, if this was the way that you were getting your extracts, I'd say potentially it could be worth it. Now, because say 200 gems is the equivalent of just over one day's lot of 50 refreshing energy 50 gems worth of energy refreshers. So you get 3 of those a day, 150. Now out of those, you got to ask yourself, if you are doing that, are you getting yourself, say, between 15 to 20 extracts a day, or out of those energy purchases? If you are, I'd say keep doing what you're doing, don't get the packs. If you're not, then go get the packs. Or if you've just got so much more and you're going to be buying energy anyway and you still want more, then it's just not even a question. I suppose you're going to get it anyway. So that is kind of how I gauge whether things are worth it or not. So personally, I think for extracts, the best place to get them is the club exchange, because they are on such a good rate for your club tokens. And if anyone is interested, I do have a video on what is best to get from the exchange, or maximizing your exchange. Check out my older videos. I'll put it in the link in the description below. And just like that, I'll go through and rate all the different things you can get from the exchange and what are the best rates to get them at. And extracts is one of the ones that are actually very, very good per the price. Now, strange fibers, you also need quite a lot of these. Now, for this is just a straight chance booster. So nearly half the time you will be getting 30 of them, and then you're going to be moving into down into the 20s. So it's pretty, the rates on these packs are pretty good. It's not like the Incredibles level of stinginess that you have super low chances of getting anything. These are actually good and balanced, which is nice to see. And it's nice that they give you a good chance of getting 30 and 35 and then 25, and it's not just straight 20 for 50 or 60% of the chance. And then that's nice. That's nice. That being said, Strange Fibers is another one. Great in the club exchange to get from there, as well as events. Currently in the Incredibles event, you can get Strange Fibers. So, and also, and I'm just going to say also, you can also get some of the extracts. Now, would I rather spend 150 gem refresh here and get 150 for extracts, as well as strange fibers, as well as droplets? Yes, that is what I prefer. Now, you got to gauge as to whatever level you are on, because if you're on the max level, or a very high level, say if you're at the 5 or 6 stars, even not even the max one, because the max one is a bit nuts, but if you are on, say, 5 star, would you rather spend maybe 6 star? 6 stars where it starts getting a bit more worth it. Would you rather spend 150 to get strange fibers and droplets and extracts, all of those, and potentially get tokens as well? So for a gem to what you're getting ratio, if all you want is those gear items, get the pack if you've got lots of excess gems. If not, I'd say check out, do my recommendations for how it's best to spend gems. I have done a video on that. You're probably going to be better off just doing the your energy refreshes and spending on your gems on events and things like that. But if you do have excess and you're getting a lot more gems and you're needing these things, then by all means, I suppose I'm not even stopping you. Now, as far as the droplets go, the droplets get a wee bit more expensive. So the higher the tier gears are, the more expensive in the shop they are. So the more you level up, the better value you'll get for the lower tiers. so you can focus farming on the higher tiers. And droplets is one of these things that you need. You need so much. 35, I think, for T6. For some tier 6 gear or tier 5 gear that's going towards tier 6. You need 35 of these each time. When you get up to tier 6, heading towards tier 7, you need 70 of these per piece of gear upgrading. And it soon adds up. And you start running short. So as for these ones, are they worth it? Getting each of them is pretty good. The rates are exactly the same as the extract rates, and which is nice to see. And it's nice to see that. Oh, actually, are they? Are these flipped around? Because the other ones were 8. Yeah, so these are flipped around. So the droplets actually have the lower chance. So you got more chance of getting the 8 pulls, whereas this one has the higher chance of getting. Ooh, interesting. So you will be most likely getting less here. So you're going to be getting 5, 50, you'll be getting 15, 5 of each, and then most likely 8, potentially 10. Of a said droplet, but you also need 35 of them. So I understand if your energy grinding has not got you far enough, that you do need more. Or a lot of us, even the top beta players, are still far and short, and we're sitting with gear. So if you've got money to spare, if you've got gems to spare, and you need them, go for it. My personal preference is spend it on the energy to help yourself level up, grow, and also at the moment, instead of buying these ones, if you spend it on energy to farm the gear, you'll also be getting the tokens to get Frozone characters tokens to just help progress your Frozone. So that is always my preference, is to get as much out of your gems as possible. And then I would prefer to go for the event. But if you do have a whole lot of extra gems that you're not spending, or that you're spending on everything else and you've still got extra, then by all means grab the packs. It'll be a nice little healthy top up and help you progress faster if you're spending. So that will be pretty much the only recommendation, is if you're spending, you're already doing these other things, say like the leveling up, the grinding for gear, getting Frozone tokens, getting everything else, and then getting through your normal events. Because as you see, eventually with the progress, we're going to be able to go in and boom, get all of that gear, and at a refresh cost, I'll be getting double that, because you're getting 2 for the refresh, 2 attempts for the refresh. So for me, that's far more valuable. Spending my 150 gems here rather than spending. I probably should actually be spending my 150 gems here, rather than spending a lot more other gems elsewhere, and then I'll farm. So I'm only getting the health droplets and extracts from this event, but that means I'll just focus my farming on the attack and defense droplets and the other ones that I need. So hopefully this has helped. In short, I still prefer to go by my other recommendations of where to get these items. I didn't actually go out and show you all the droplets. So look at this. That's just the evidence there that these droplets there are 2k, 2,000 per droplet, and good value. Good value, since you need so many of them. But because you need so many of them, I also understand if you're short and you just want to buy some. I completely get it. So in the end of the day, it is your choice. My preference is always to save and to get good value. And I think you can get better value by spending gems on event related or progression related um, times or items. So hopefully that helped. If you are getting the packs, I want to hear from you in the comments below. Or hit me up, show me what you've got, what you're working on that you need all those gear pieces for. But I would still highly recommend jumping in and going for a quick farm and just being like, okay, so I need droplets, so I'll get my defense droplets here, and I'll get my attack droplets here, and just work away at your characters. So decent value. I think the packs are decent value for what you get, but I also prefer to spend mine on events because I want to have event progression as well as the gear. So hopefully that helps. And I can't wait to hear from you guys what you guys are doing with these packs. Yes or no? Yay, nay, you spend your gems elsewhere. I want to hear from you.